Thank you. Madam Clerk, we're good?
Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call to order this special meeting of the Taos County Board of County Commissioners on Tuesday, October 10th, 2023 at 9:04 a.m. Thank you for being with us this morning. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Romero? Commissioner Vihil? Present. Commissioner Mascareñas? Vice Chair Romero?
Present.
Chair Brush?
Present. Thank you, Madam Clerk. For agenda item 3, the inspirational devotion, I'd just like to take a moment to express our gratitude that we're all here safe and together to do the work of Taos County, and that in the front or back of the room, depending on how you look at it, we have the first day of early voting going on. So also grateful for our democracy where we get to express our voices in that way. So, and now if everyone would please join me in standing, Vice Chair Romero will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's not on the agenda, but we've trained ourselves well. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Thank you, everybody, for remaining standing for that, even though it's not on our agenda. Appreciate that. Our state deserves it. Agenda item 5 is approval of our agenda. Commissioners, what are your wishes regarding our agenda this morning?
Chair, motion to approve.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Miguel. Madam Clerk, would you please call the vote to approve our agenda?
Commissioner Romero? Commissioner Vihil?
Yes.
Vice Chair Romero?
Yes.
Chair Brush?
Yes, thank you very much. We have an approved agenda. This takes us to item 6 on our agenda, which is public comment. And if there's anyone in the room or watching online, Ms. Anissa, is there anyone watching online? Okay. The number is not on my agenda, but it is 575-737-6310. If you are watching online and you'd like to make a comment, you may call that number. But first, we'll look to people in the room to see if they would like to make any comments. And I see we might have one person in the room. Friendly reminder, please approach the podium. Friendly reminder, we cannot engage in conversation because to do that, we would have to, by state law, put your topic on our agenda as of last week, 72 hours in advance. So good morning very much. If you just tell everybody your name and where you're living, and then tell us what's on your mind this morning.
Good morning. My name is Angie Fernandez, and I live in Carson Estates.
Is this on? Is it green?
Okay. Good morning. My name is Angie Fernandez, and I live in Carson Estates. And I'm here this morning just in reference to something that was published a couple of weeks in the newspaper about our water the Taos water future may lie west of the Rio Grande. And it just concerns me that some of our water would be drilled on our side when we do our best to conserve. And some of the things said, I'm just going to read some of this. We've got to plan for the future, Painter said, because under the Taos Pueblo Abeta water rights settlement of the water, if the Pueblo puts all of the water rights into full production, then the rest of us have to provide a lot of municipal water for the growing community in Acequia water. And who knows what the climate's gonna do, whether we're gonna get snow or rain. If we don't get that, we are all going to have some really serious problems. We have to start looking long-term. And I'm talking the town, the sanitation districts, and the mutual domestics. Start working together. And then I'm just gonna skip to Painter added, speculating ultimately Taos Valley's water supply may have to be supplemented by water pipes in from deep wells on the west side of the Gorge Bridge. Chavez told the audience that upon hearing the pipeline idea, he thought Painter was off his rocker, but now he believes Painter could be right about a future need to deliver water from the west side of the Gorge Bridge. So here we have our professional, water people talking about their concerns, and we have solutions, and they're all over the other side of the Gorge Bridge. There's over 400 homes that are living off of rainwater catchment. And so to me, I'm just, how do we start coming up with solutions now instead of waiting till the end, whether it's water conservation programs, starting with the schools and the children, to public service announcements, as well as incentivizing or minimizing, maybe even moratoriums. Like one concern I have is that we're building in the Taos Ski Valley for the tourists when we need to guarantee the water for the people. And so I don't know how we can move forward, but I just want to create, like, how do we start coming together and working together, not to pump and to invest more money, but to educate ourselves and our community on how to conserve water now. So just bringing that up. And I'd also like to leave my phone number because I would like this to be a real conversation. So it's 575-999-1417. I got a new number. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if there's anyone else in the room, yeah,
Good morning.
good morning.
Jessica Stern, I'm the Economic Development Director. I live in El Prado. Just really briefly, I mostly forgot to mention this at the last commission meeting, but I want to acknowledge that October is National Arts and Humanities Month. So happy Arts and Humanities Month. And really quickly for the commission to know about and for the public, on October 12th, there's going to be a virtual event hosted by Americans for the Arts revealing the results of a national arts and economic impact study. This is the 30th anniversary year of this study, the 6th iteration of it. And that event is going to be hosted by Academy Award-winning actress Rita Moreno, with performances by Ben Folds, Josh Groban, and a speech by Fran Drescher. So people can register at americansforthearts.org. And following up on that, on October 14th at the Millicent Rogers Museum, we will be revealing, I should say, in person, the Taos County numbers for the Arts and Economic Prosperity 6 study. This is really exciting because Taos County, not the government entity, but the geographic area, participated for the first time in this national study alongside 400 other community partners in the country. I can say that our numbers are really incredible, and I'm very excited to present them with the Millicent Rogers. I'll be speaking at 3 o'clock for that event. So it's October 14th, Saturday, at the Millicent Rogers Museum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else in the room? Okay, if not, then I'm going to take the phone off of Do Not Disturb. And if you're watching online, you can call in 575-737-6310 and have your 3 minutes of talking to us. We'll give it just a moment. Again, the number 575-737-6310. Okay, I think we can move on our agenda. This takes us to item 7 on our agenda, which is the consent agenda. Commissioners, we have items A through D presented here for us. Does anyone wish to remove any of these from the consent agenda for discussion? Or otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve as presented, items 7A through D.
I'm sorry, motion to approve?
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
I think Commissioner Romero got you on that one. Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, A through D, and a second. Madam Clerk, would you please call for the vote?
Commissioner Romero? Commissioner Vihil?
Yes.
Vice Chair Romero?
Yes.
Chair Brush?
Yes, thank you very much. Moving on to items 8. 8 on our agenda is contracts, agreements, MOUs, and bids. 8A is discussion, consideration, and decision regarding the approval of purchase of services with Sandbar Construction, stripe various paved county-maintained roadways utilizing state price agreements. And with us this morning, to discuss this is Elsa Vigil, our Chief Procurement Officer, and Joe Fernandez, our Interim Public Works Director. So Joe, Elsa, whichever of you would like to go first. Thank you for being here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair Rush. Good morning, Commissioners. This will be consideration for the striping of most of our roads. We've got quite a few of them that really have no striping left. They were done so late into the season when they were initially put in, so there's a lot of them that are completely gone. The others that were not like that are sort of worn down. So we've got 3 additional roads in the south end of town that require measurement and striping complete all over again. So really, those are pretty much what we're asking for as far as that acceptance for this, approval of them.
And in terms of procurement, I know the amount is about $80,000 or $88,000. At this time, we're not asking for a contract because it's strictly for striping only. I mean, it's kind of redundant to do so, but they do utilize 2 of the New Mexico DOT state price agreements that will encompass the $88,681.60. And also verifying their funds, they do have money in there to do this at this time. We want to hit this before winter hits, or even, due to the striping, it's so faded, it's just so bad that, accidents could happen.
Thank you both. Commissioners, do you have questions or comments for Commissioner Vigil?
Yes, thank you. Do you know how many miles this is going to take care of? Or
Right
Deborah?
offhand, I do not. If I am not mistaken,
I can do this real quick for you.
This gives us a general idea. And while you're gathering that info, how about, does this come directly out of the road maintenance budget, or do we all contribute from the road?
this should be
Funds
coming
that
out
we
of the budget, if I'm not
Okay, I
mistaken.
was just curious.
Yes.
So the way Sandbar charges is they charge per linear foot.
Mhm.
It'll look like 117 miles, but it really isn't. It just depends on the back and forth. So one way
Right.
and then one way
Got
back.
it.
So depending which ones need the stripes on the side and the one that only needs it in the center. So that's why it's a little misleading.
Right.
But they do measure it as linear feet. But I would say it's probably, how many miles do you think, Jason? Yeah. So, I mean, altogether, it's 117 miles, but it's because of the back and forth. So
Right.
it's a little misleading.
Well, nonetheless, I appreciate the work, and I know we have constituents out there that were asking about that. So thank you for taking that
You're
on.
welcome.
It does make a big difference, right? The striping. Any other questions? Miguel, did you have any questions or comments about the striping?
Madam Chair.
Vice Chair Romero?
Yeah, just a question on the clarification on the process. How long does it actually take? This is just to adjust the budget in order to pay. So how was the contractor secured? It probably was through state contract, I imagine, but then once it's done is when it's paid, right?
Well, this is just to approve the actual purchase. The funds are there to pay for it already, so it's not really a budget adjustment or anything like that. But we are securing it with 2 state price agreements. So when we cut the purchase order, we'll make sure we have the back procurement behind it, as well as it's written within the body of the actual purchase order. So Sandbar will then, at that point, once they get the purchase order, they will make arrangements with Public Works and a date and time when they're going to be up here to stripe in the different areas, whether it's in the southern end of the county, the northern end, or here in town.
So how long will it take before the striping is actually done? 2, 3, 4 weeks?
Well, as soon as we get the approval for today, we'll push it through as quickly as we possibly can. So
We'll
hopefully
try
within the
to
next
schedule
weeks.
something with Sandbar as soon as possible, because usually, again, we usually see it for snow before Halloween, and I don't know, I think I anticipate it to be sooner. It just seems to be getting colder faster.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Okay, thank you both very much. At this point, then I would entertain a motion to approve item 8A, just regarding the approval of the purchase of services with Sandbar Construction to stripe various paved county-maintained roadways.
Move to approve.
And I'll go ahead and second that. So we have a motion and a second, Madam Clerk.
Second.
Could you please call for the vote?
Commissioner Romero? Commissioner Vehil?
Yes.
Vice Chair Romero?
Yes.
Chair Brush?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you both. Look forward to seeing those reps down there.
Oh, yeah.
All over. Item 8A is next on our agenda, which is discussion, consideration, and decision regarding the approval of a purchase of a 2023-24 Osage Type 1 4x4 F450 through Buy-Board Cooperative Agreement. Ms. Vihil, the floor remains yours.
Good morning, Chairwoman Commission. Before you in the packet is an actual, gives you the actual quote for the ambulance. Our previous EMS director had placed in to have the budget approved a year or two ago. At that time, he misunderstood in terms of the approval for the procurement side for the purchase of this ambulance. He didn't push it forward to do this type of presentation then. Hence why I'm doing it now. It does take 2 to 2.5 years to build an ambulance due to the chips being missing and so forth. So when the grant did get approved, we contacted Osage, which is Mr. Don McNutt from Silver City, and he placed it in at that time, knowing that it was going to take a long time to get this done. Now that I found out that there is a possibility that the new ambulance should be ready, hopefully by late spring, so hence I'm bringing this forward. I did contact him and verify due to prices have been fluctuating, and they're still honoring the price that they gave us for $233,000 and some change. It has fluctuated up almost 20,000-30,000 since then, but they're going to honor the price and have talked to Buy Board as the cooperative as well to let them know they're honoring the price because it was at no fault of anybody. We just had to procure it at that time in terms of getting the order in so it can get in the assembly line. So at this time, I'm asking approval for this purchase and this purchase amount for this ambulance, so I can proceed in encumbering the grant funds that we did acquire for this ambulance to put the purchase in place. So by the time we get the ambulance, we'll have everything in its place to pay it off.
Thank you very much, Ms. Vihil. And just again, in terms of process and background, we go through this about every other year, right? And we get typically, in the past anyway, we've gotten capital outlay from our state delegation, as well as the hospital. I think every other year contributes as well.
Yes. So we receive so much from the hospital every other year. And this one in particular was a capital outlay that was given to us that expires in 2024. Hence why we're pushing to make sure that ambulance gets here in late spring because it does end in June. Our grant administrator has already gotten the notice of obligation for it as well. And we have purchased other items with some of the excess monies. And if there's anything left, I will make sure to get hold of EMS Fire to make sure we expend whatever's left to make sure we buy the equipment needed for it.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Commissioners, any other questions or comments for Ms. Vihil?
Yeah, Madam
Vice
Chair,
Chair Romero.
so on the issue of the hospital and ambulances, of course, in discussions, we've talked about land transporting of patients outside the county. And I think the last discussions with the hospital were that we were working together collaboratively to try to see if that could happen with the county and the hospital working collaboratively. And so I don't know if we're going to have more capacity with the ambulance. Hopefully we will. But still, I think we need further discussions with the hospital as to whether or not we're addressing this.
Duly noted, Vice Chair, although I do think that that would be a different agenda topic than what is before us today. Is that fair, Manager Jaramillo?
No, that's, that would be a different agenda topic, but the ambulance we're purchasing today is going to be a replacement of an existing ambulance. What we had been practicing was just changing out the chassis, but we've already done that twice with both ambulances. So we're at this point of that we need to purchase a new ambulance.
So to that point, it's more of a replacement of the
I
existing
think
equipment.
it's definitely
rather than-
related, definitely an agenda topic as we're discussing it now. But yeah, it's just to reemphasize that we need to continue those discussions because the issue hasn't been resolved.
We just don't have the capacity, but that could be an agenda topic for another meeting.
Yeah, it's definitely continuing discussion.
I was
Commissioner
going to
Vihil?
add that we can put that in a future
Right.
conversation, for sure. I think it's
Yeah.
necessary.
Well noted, just trying to keep within our framework here of our agenda, but definitely noted. And as Manager Harmio explained, this is really not adding to our fleet capacity. It is upkeep and replacement of equipment as it ages out of being effective. Any other comments or questions regarding purchase of 2023-2024 Osage Type 1 4x4 F450 through Buy Board Cooperative Agreement? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve such purchase.
Madam Chair, motion to approve.
Thank you, Vice Chair Romero. Is there a second? Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate that. Madam Clerk, would you please call for the vote?
Commissioner Romero? Commissioner Vehil?
Yes.
Vice Chair Romero?
Yes.
Chair Brush?
Yes, thank you very much. New purchase is approved. Thank you very much. And this takes us to the end of our agenda, folks. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 9:25 a.m.
Motion to adjourn?
You will go ahead and second. Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, our special meeting is adjourned on Tuesday, October 10th, 2023 at 9:25 a.m. Thank you, Commissioner Romero. Miguel, good to see you. Thank you. And we are officially adjourned.